What's on your shirt?
Yeah.
What's on your shirt? That's what I was gonna ask you. Jesus
From a while
Christ.
ago.
That is the most dad shirt I've ever seen in my life.
Are you serious, dude? I bought it off of fucking Tilly's. It ain't a dad shirt.
That's
It's
a
from an
dad
actual
shirt. That is such a dad shirt.
bullshit. I am disappointed in you right now.
That's a shirt you wear to the PTA and the PTA meeting, and he's like goes to the other dads. He goes, "Did you see my shirt?" Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh my god.
You wanna go get a brewski? After,
Pause the video. I gotta take it off.
You wanna go get a brewski after I finish mowing my lawn?
Oh my god, dude, I can't. This is the. It's like so faded and shitty. It's so perfect. It's like, God, I got it just the way that I wanted it. Whatever.
It even looks like it was printed 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's the point.
He got it from
Dylan. I wash clothing.
Dude, he bought it from his favorite dive bar. It was hanging on the wall.
Huh?
Yeah.
Look,
that's what happens.
It's going down. The summer is coming, Dylan, and when the sleeves get torn off of this thing, you're gonna think different. You're gonna think way different. Speaking of cold open, I'm drinking a passion fruit LaCroix. This is a Jack It Off podcast, episode 47.
I'm Dylan, and he's Brent.
It's Dylan.
And that's how you start a podcast.
It's March 10th.
I got shit to do.
We're fastly approaching the Ides of March.
That's when
Beware the Ides of March.
That's when Caesar salad was created, right?
It sure was that Caesar salad looking motherfucker. That's like an insult for white people. You Caesar salad looking motherfucker. You crouton munching piece of shit.
No, Caesar salad's a little exotic.
It's a little exotic. Well, I shouldn't ask what world do you live in, because I know what world you live in. It's Tullyland.
Dude, don't even start with Tully's.
Oh, we're gonna start with Tully's. It's gonna come up.
We walk in. Half-hour wait. Fine, they got a bar. They got a bar in the shitty arcade. We get a drink, go to the shitty arcade. I win a couple rubber ducks out of a crane game. Because that's what I do when I see a crane game. It's I win whatever I want out of it. Well, whatever I can win out of it, even if I don't want it. I have a problem, Brent.
I don't want anything in here, but I really need to show my mastery of this 100% game of chance.
It's not 100%.
I mean, all right. I guess so.
It's not 100%. There's factors, Brent. Factors play in to the crane.
There's factors. Mm-hmm.
The chance.
Gotta have that strategy.
The chance is the percentage that the claw's gonna grip. Now, some crane games, you could tell even when the claw grips, you're not gonna win. You could just tell the way the grip of the claw. You can see it.
You can see it's the way it is.
It's got that banouche. You know, that Italian
certain je ne sais quoi.
You can see
joie de vivre.
This ain't the snatchy. You ain't getting that watch, dude. I'm sorry.
It's that crane game that comes down and it's like all four of the crane things are like on like fucking jello motors, and they're just like it's like somebody like who has lost control of their limbs. They're just like
and when you move it a little bit, it starts just swinging. Like the goddamn pirate ship.
Yeah, dude. You're like somebody's getting in there every week and like loosening that screw that holds that or the bolt that holds that thing together, and it's just like the slightest movement is just like
it just whacks against the side of the glass. So that's chance number one. Is it gonna grip? Now here's where the skill comes in. You gotta line it up, Brent. I'm sorry. And you gotta know where to line it up. Because
I'm learning so much.
Some toys are better to grab from the ass. Now, if they're sitting in, you could get if depending on the size of the head, you could get in. If you get that good grip, you could snatch the head right up, pluck them right out. Now, here's the other one. It's that luck where the weird toys have weird shapes to them, and the claw gets all fucking snatchy on them. And you don't know. It just like grabs the motherfucker, and the claw doesn't even close, but it still picks it up. And then there's the bounce factor. Now, this is when you pick it up, and it hits the top, and it jostles it. But if it's close enough to the hole, point in case, when I won the pig, even though I picked him up all the way, I figured he was close enough to the hole that when it hit the top, it would fall in the hole. That's still a win, Brent. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. That is still a win.
Dude, if we get to the end, when we get to the end of the fucking podcast, I'll be like, "You playing any good games lately?" We've already said it. I played the crane game at Tully's. You playing any good?
Now I've
played good analog bullshit games lately.
I've won hundreds of toys out of the crane game. Hundreds.
What an illustrious career you've had.
It spans continents, my winnings, because I won a Funhouse patch from that Japanese crane game over the internet. That's right.
Spans continents. Oh, God. So, the last time we
chicken fingers
graced the podcast. What?
I was just finishing up my Tully story. The chicken fingers were fine.
I do not want to diminish this.
Yeah.
Please continue.
No. That's the end of the story.
The end of the story, Dylan? It doesn't sound like it's the end of the story. You won some shit on the crane game, but I saw some texts where you're like, I want to kill myself.
It's because we sat down and we waited longer than we did for the seats for deep fried chicken tenders. Everyone at the table ordered chicken tenders, and we just waited forever, and ever, and ever, and then they fucked up.
Was it nuts to butts in there?
Yes, dude. It was like 7:00 on Saturday. We were.
So
lucky. We were lucky there wasn't a Syracuse game on.
What?
Like a basketball
okay,
game, it was just busy.
Let's rewind. Let's move it back a little bit. Let's get the dial moved back, and let's talk about Justin's involvement. Did he just break down your door?
Yeah.
Put a fresh pair of pants on and dragged you out?
Yep, that was it. Well, he didn't break down the door. He called me, and I picked up the phone. And you know when you think it's gonna be that call where it's like, oh yeah, we're headed out now. Like I talked to him earlier in the day. I told him, yeah, I'm probably not gonna come out. I talked to him earlier in the day, and I'm like, okay, so this is probably just a call. Hey, just call just to make sure you didn't want to come.
He ain't like that.
And instead the call was, I'm 2 minutes up the road. Put some pants on. Oh my God. So you gotta go at that point.
Why was he going to Tully's?
Oh, we went to go see Tritonal.
Okay.
We just went to dinner before.
Right.
Tully's is right up the road.
Tully's to there. Oh, is it?
It's on.
I only ever went there once when I was a kid. Yeah.
Erie Boulevard. You know how close that is to Westcott? It's right on there. It's like right across the street from Guitar Center.
Oh, okay.
Which is like 2 minutes from the Westcott.
Well, so that makes sense, kind of.
Yeah, it made sense to go there. It was literally on the way.
Probably at that point there weren't many other options.
Well, all the restaurants on that road were going to be busy at the time we went, because that's the restaurant road. That's got all the restaurants on it.
The
and
old rest, the
we didn't want
old
to go into fucking Murder House Chili's.
Murder House Chili's. Dude, you didn't want to go Papa John's?
Papa John's
The
is closed.
pizza, the racist pizza capital of the world. Yeah, I know it was closed. It was a long time coming for old Papa John. So how was Tritonal?
They're pretty good.
Was it a lot of? Go ahead.
No, well, go ahead.
I
I was just gonna say it's like you're running.
Fucking delay on this shit.
Huh? No, you're always.
I feel like there's
over
some
me.
sort
I'm
of
just
delay.
talking today, so you're asking me questions.
No,
that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the difference this time. It's not you talking at me. It's you asking.
I want to ask you questions, Dylan. That's part of my growth as a person.
No, it's not.
What was I gonna say? Was it a lot of just normal future-based stuff? Like
Yeah.
Epic future based, like, because I always wonder about those types of producers when they come out to play live. Like, is it just like, because normally the energy of future based songs is much different than going out to see somebody who's either all over the board or is like 100% dubstep. Like, future bass seems to occupy this category of like epic type stuff.
Yeah, but they also throw in that other stuff too. Not much, but they do toss it
just
in
a little.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think you can. Like, I don't think, even if the people who are going to see you know you only, like, it's kind of like they fall in that same category as, to me, is like Griffin, Millennium, Said the Sky, Odessa, like the
lot of Stack Saw Waves,
if they're not going out and doing, if they're not going out and breaking the songs that they're known for up with either like nostalgia drops or like some heavier,
they played
the
remix of, you know, Save the World by Swedish House Mafia, so you got like that kind of stuff. You would have liked it. You would have liked it, I think.
Oh, I know I would have. I really wanted to go see them a lot because there's a couple of features they have that I like a lot. But
that Kill the Noise. They did one with Kill the Noise and Millennium, didn't they?
Yes, that was one of them that I really liked a lot. But the other one I really liked was, geez, it's probably hard for me to find because they're like one of those groups that does like
singles.
They'll do one big, like they did the first. I mean, fuck, 2016 was their only big record. Jeez.
Yeah.
But there's one that's them and there's so many fucking remixes, dude. They're crazy on remixes. There's a couple of, I like Horizon. That's the one with, it's Seven Lions, Kill the Noise, and Haleen. Like, that's the
Seven
one I like from last year.
Yeah, that's the one.
I liked Horizon, and I really liked there's one other one that's pretty good too. That Cheat Codes one, home with Cheat Codes, is good. Like I said, they're kind of a better in the sum of their parts type of.
They did the like a Cash remix, didn't they? That's how they popped off, or was it the other way around? Cash did a remix to them. I can't remember.
Well, I don't know.
What's that one Cash?
The thing with shows like that, they're in Terminal 5 in a couple more days. That's where the next spot for them. That's on Thursday.
You wanna go?
Go to the one in Terminal 5. I've been wanting to go down to the city for a while just to go. Like, it feels like, I'm either down there for work or for like a show, barely that. And I feel like I want to go down. I mean, we'll go down for Aladdin or whatever, but I'm only going to be there for a day to do that. It feels like I want to spend like a weekend in New York. doing something.
Ooh, weekend in New York.
Weekend in the oh my god,
Oh my
doing a
God,
weekend of
Becky got
fucking
a
New York,
bagel.
dude. Can I have a fucking bagel, dude? Weekend in New York will be problematic for how I'm eating right now because pretty much a weekend in New York means
Pizza.
eat a carb. Welcome to New York, eat a carb. You got to keep up your strength for fucking saying I'm walking here. That's
Swearing
what
at a
pretty
taxi
much.
cab.
Yeah, you need carbs in order to fucking yell at randos on the subway. Or to say to poor defenseless people like me, you don't even know, white boy. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, white boy, because that was what somebody said to me when I hadn't said anything on the subway.
Yeah, well,
So
you don't even know.
well, look,
Brent.
I'm not trying to tell anybody that I know
Brent, you don't
out
know.
here on the subway, but he just wanted to tell. This individual felt it was necessary to point out my race. That's perfectly fine. I've had it too good for too long. Number one. All right. So look, that's fine. Take me down a peg. That's good for me. But number two, then decided to say that I don't even know. And we're talking about issues that I'm not, this is the first time you and me are interacting on this subway. And guy, this is what the definition of interaction is. I looked up from my phone. Look, I know that's mistake number one. Do not look up from your phone on the subway. Just don't do it. And also don't not have headphones on. If we learn one thing about New York, if you haven't at least bought a pair of AirPods, you should at least be out there with some knockoffs. Like
shove some Q-tips
get
in your ears.
something. Yeah,
Just
hang.
take a Q-tip, snap it in half, and just dangle them downwards from your ear.
You're gonna solve 90% of your human interaction problems just by doing that. No question.
I got plenty of them.
Look, Dylan, if you didn't have if your issues with social interaction didn't stem from large groups, you should be living in New York right now. If your problem with social interaction is just like, like you're fine in large groups but you don't want to talk to nobody, like it isn't both things. You're not good in large groups and you don't want to talk to anybody. So New York is not going to be for you.
Well, large groups are fine because that means everyone else is talking to each other.
Oh, actually, so I mean, if you put it that way,
it's way easier in large groups. You could just disappear.
You can. So
trust me, I've done it.
Look,
I was sitting at a table at Tolly's last night with 8 people at it and watching the hockey game.
Oh yeah, see, nothing better than that, huh?
Dr. Pepper.
Just
nothing better, Dr. Pepper.
Because we know none of them have anything to offer. We know that's something we know.
Well, that's not fair.
I mean, it's not fair, but in your world, if you're sitting there and the choice is interaction with somebody or a hockey game, we're going to always assume it's the hockey game.
Even if it was just me and you sitting there, I'm going to be watching the hockey game.
It's happened before, so look.
You're right, it has.
It's not an insult to me. It ain't an insult to me. It's just the fact of life.
That one time when we went to the Saratoga Comic-Con, then afterwards we sat in that bar for like 6 hours because we were just watching the hockey game.
That's right. We got to do that again.
It's coming up.
I don't know
soon.
when Saratoga Comic-Con is.
It's in April, isn't it?
Yeah, could be. Let me take a quick gander at it. Saratoga Comic-Con, of course.
Send me the
home. What?
Didn't you just literally send me like the link last week or something?
No, I think that's Albany Comic-Con.
Oh, sorry. Ooh, sorry.
Well, in fairness, Dylan, Albany is the capital of New York. So at the very least, we could get a halfway decent celebrity there.
That's true.
Not like we would talk to them or interact with them in any way, but at least we could just look at them from afar awkwardly. So here are our guests for Saratoga Comic-Con. Boy, we really lucked out this year, Dylan.
How many wrestlers?
We got only one wrestler this time.
Do we got Jake the Snake?
We do not have Jake the Snake. It's Mr. USA Tony Atlas.
Nope.
And we in our number one headliner is the Black Ranger on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and fantastic haircut, Johnny Young Bosch, who has been a voice actor in countless animes, according to his description.
Blurb, if you will.
Yeah, I could give you a quick idea of who it is that we're dealing with. Of course,
Wait, is it the original Power Rangers or like Zeo
Johnny
or
Young
Neo?
Bosch got his start fighting giant bugs as Adam Park, the Black Ranger on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yes, it is the original Black Ranger. It was the role that he would play for 3.5 seasons on television, 2 motion pictures, and 2 special guest appearances in future Power Ranger seasons.
Oh, it's the guy. It's him. It is the.
It is the guy.
Yeah.
It is the dude, the guy, the man. And then, of course, first major voice acting role was Vash the Stampede in Trigun. Went on to play the voices of Kaneda and Akira, Renton in Eureka 7, Albert in The Count of Monte Cristo. What? There's a Count of Monte Cristo anime, Dylan, just so that'll give you an idea of. Ichigo in Bleach, which that is out of left field. I would have figured they would have opened that. The lead in Bleach, he was the voice of Ichigo.
Yeah, seriously, like that's like
and then Artemis in Sailor Moon. So
I don't know. I'd almost go Ichigo and Bleach over Black Ranger.
That's for the anime crowd 100%. He was also Nero in Devil May Cry 4, so he's probably reprising a role, at least because we know Nero's in DMC 5. So it could be there. He was also in Persona 4, Tales of Symphonia, Bumblebee and Transformers War for Cybertron, Zero in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So he's got some good voice acting credits under his belt. And then we have, of course, it wouldn't be a Comic-Con. We need to have a wrestler, a former Power Ranger, and, of course, a former investigator on Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International.
It's not the original Black Ranger.
How is it not the original guy? It says Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Was there a remake of it?
No, he was he was in the movie, I think.
It says he was in the movie.
Yeah, but he's not the original Black Ranger. The original Black Ranger is a black dude.
Well, was he the second Black Ranger then?
Yeah, it must be.
They go through them fucking people like Menudo. Once you get too old and too black, they hire an Asian guy to come in and take your place because he's better at martial arts. And none of those things are stereotypes.
I've seen him do a high kick. I've seen it.
I saw it. I saw it with my own 2 eyes in 2 times speed for some reason. So, Dylan, Brian Harnois from Ghost Hunters. I mean, come on, dude. Guest artist, Ron Leary Jr.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now, and it's got like an issue of Kick-Ass on the front on his.
He sure does.
But he didn't draw that. John Romita Jr. drew it. It says so right on the top.
My guess is that, like, sometimes when you have to write a profile for somebody, you kind of have to, like...
Unless he did this alt cover of it. Or he draws Hit Girl, I don't know.
That's kind of all it's about, is like trying to find like other shit they did for major comic labels, like being like he did the coloring for Young Justice number 30, maybe, but only a couple pages. It was only the guest artist in the back pages. Anyway, we can hit the after party featuring DJ Tom. I'm gonna say DJ Tom is probably as insufferable as I can think it would be. As I am. I mean, I have 2 different ideas about what it is to be a DJ. It's probably my wedding one. That's probably that guy. You ain't gonna be up in there getting that super beat matched fucking deep house that everybody's looking for.
I'm sure that's what they paid for, so that's what they're gonna get.
They went on to like one of those directory websites where you can hire some fucking chub to come in and play fucking
I'm gonna put my name on
Sweet
Fiverr.
Caroline. Oh, come and DJ for $5. All right, you know what? I'll give myself some credit. $5 an hour. How's that? Because then at least I'll cover gas.
Yeah, well, I got a hybrid, so
Just
I'll
the
be able-
one $5, man, is fine.
I'll be able to pocket 250 of that 5.
Just play the Macarena Electric Slide, Sweet Caroline, and Faithfully by Journey, and then you be getting out of there. You're fine.
He's just playing the house mix of the Macarena. It's been playing for an hour and a half.
So
That was just Not Butter by Dylan Francis also.
it is. It's kind of the same thing if you really think about it, because the intro to the Macarena has that delayed keyboard on it. Speaking of,
Oh, that's going in my
not
super cup.
butter. Speaking of not butter, Dylan, our fantastic Lost Weekend in Buffalo concluded last weekend, and two things that we've gleaned from our exploits is that it's really hard to get into Cracker Barrel on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's yeah. And also,
and-
every book in Cracker Barrel already has the bathroom vent in it.
And also, it's very easy to drink low carb at most concerts and venues nowadays. And as you found out from more recent trips, the White Claw takeover has begun.
The White Claw was flowing last night,
dude. They're gonna have that shit on tap like it's a Jaeger kiosk soon, dude. I'm telling you. And you know what you noticed it even earlier than that, because we went to Tops in Rome and went into the beer aisle, and lo and behold, every popular malt beverage brand and beer brand that you can think of was creating their own version.
You said, "Wow, Smirnoff makes this now." You said that,
dude. That was me saying it.
That was you.
It was me, the man who has intimate knowledge of most types of now sparkling spiked seltzer sodas in history. I've drank probably 3 out of 6 that I'm aware of.
Have you had a Smirnoff one yet?
No.
I feel like they all taste the same.
I feel like the Smirnoff one to me would taste like garbage.
It might be good though, because they got weird flavors. They had that was what they had going for them. They weren't like your just citrus that everything else is.
The one that the only one that tastes a little bit not as good is the one that's got 6% in it, because the alcohol level is very high, at least compared to what it is, because it's a very neutral thing. It's kind of like pouring too much vodka into your seltzer. It's like, oh, okay, now it's starting, like, it's not very well disguised anymore.
And LaCroix.
Yeah, like, and well, look, I was doing that last night, but you gotta be careful. And the other key is that you gotta, like, the biggest thing, if you're getting your LaCroix on, right? You get your LaCroix into your glass, you get your vodka in there, but then the most important key, the biggest component, yeah, squeeze that lemon in there, Dylan. It's the only way that's not going to taste like watered down rubbing alcohol.
Well, that's because
squeezing that. It's for anything.
When LaCroix leaves, the flavor is in the can. So when the LaCroix leaves the can, the flavor evaporates into the air.
No, it's leaving. The flavor is, I got to chug it real quick. It's like juice. It's like Fruit Stripe.
Whenever someone asks you what flavor LaCroix is, as soon as you say the flavor, it goes away in the can. It's gone.
Mango. Oh, now it's just regular.
I think a poltergeist just passed through me.
They're here.
Someone crack a
Yo,
seltzer.
that LaCroix tastes like that white noise machine I used to go to bed. Uh, so when we went to Dillon Francis, we discovered, again, early discoveries. White Claw was happening there. Actually, I think they were doing spike seltzers, two different kinds. They had them two
Spike
flavors.
seltzer is the one with the 6%.
Yes, so
That's
that'll
also
get
from
you
around here. You'd think that would be like the mainstay.
spike seltzer. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's
so
from
every
somewhere in
bar
New
picks
York.
one now. It
Yeah,
seems like everywhere has got like one because they know it's so weird. I'm noticing that like you like as there's it's hard to explain because one of the things is like a medical problem and the other thing is just a choice, and this could apply to anything, but like the gluten-free phenomenon, and it's not a phenomenon, I guess it's weird to say. You don't really want to say phenomenon in the context of a medical crisis. I don't really know, but
what am I, a
uh
doctor?
that
Do I got a
implies
stethoscope around my neck? What am I, an asshole?
a phenomenon implies like it's like like you can't believe that it's like no. I mean, people are developing intolerances to things. It's
Yeah, I intolerate you.
yeah.
Got him.
You have intolerate you. Uh, the thing that I'm starting to see as I go forward here is like, along with something gluten free, they're not saying it directly. That's the difference. Is that you could be out there in the world at your restaurant and you can see stuff on the menu that's gluten free just as much as you see your little hot peppers next to the thing at the Chinese restaurant
That's my
to tell you
favorite.
how spicy it is.
Let me get the hottest, spiciest.
So we got a lot of periods, commas,
I want to look like
parentheses.
someone took a nap on that fucking hot pepper.
Button. The old on their keyboard when they're making the menu, they got the custom keyboard layout, and they're looking over here to the Windows key. It's like, oh, a spicy pepper key. Press that a couple times. The thing that's starting to become evident is that when I go out to eat places, especially if this place is known for being progressive in its style,
Mm-hmm.
like you go to a place, I mean, because we know Saratoga. As far as progression goes, you can't get any more progress. It's the pinnacle of progression. So you go to your place that's got farm raised everything and fucking farm to table, and farm tables been raised properly, grass fed tables. You go there, and then suddenly you have an option that seems inherently keto related or Atkins related, whatever you want to call it, but they don't market as such. That's the next step. The next step is going to be, along with your parentheses gluten free or GF next to your menu, it'll then be parentheses keto friendly. That's going to be your next move, because you're starting to see the seltzers come into play, the low carb seltzers. The Mick Ultras have been around for a long time. They've been holding that game down strong.
And Corona Lights.
For years. And Corona Lights. Absolutely. Both of those beers, maybe in a different context, have been holding down the low carb game for longer than keto has been popular. And my God, it's never been more popular than it is right now.
That's why you jumped on it.
This moment.
No, like Brent, jump on the goddamn.
I can't. But
bandwagon Brent. That's what they call them.
But hang on, Dylan. I seem to see a bandwagon maybe coming in like last year, maybe the year before. I can't quite recall when I did this before, and I failed miserably.
Oh, right.
So I did it before. So in fairness, I was doing it at a time where everybody was looking at me like I had 8 heads, and it still is that way. And look, No matter how much you try to deny it, this is a self-inflicted plight. I can't go here and try to. I'm not over here saying I got some disease where I can't eat carbs. That ain't happening. I'm not going to the doctors and getting my doctor's note that says, "Please excuse Brent from carbs tonight. He's violently ill."
His tummy,
But
his tummy don't feel so good.
look, in my world, when my tummy doesn't feel so good, I ain't fighting it out like you or Andrew would. Like you'll hit him, you'll get the fucking bubble guts, and so will Andrew, and you'll be like, all right, let's keep drinking, let's keep moving,
Well, it's
chugging
also
through the night. Come on, let's go.
You have a different. You actually get real bad bubble guts, whatever the fuck. You have a stomach problem. I don't have a stomach problem, so
I do not know why. I mean, I would venture a guess to say that being almost 30 has something to do with it. That's in part what we're talking about. But also, like, I've realized very quickly that switching over to something like this has created a I haven't fucking burped from eating food. Like, it's the weirdest fucking feeling in the world this is never a thought that should cross your mind, by the way. But like when I was driving, I think I was in my car the other day, and the only time I burp is seltzer. I'm literally pumping air into myself. What I'm talking about is I'm talking about a scenario where you've eaten something and afterwards you can't stop burping. Like you're like, I'm gonna burp up these fucking onion rings for the next 3
I was thinking
fucking
of
days.
I was thinking of onions.
Yeah, it's always that. And I realized
that doesn't happen to me also,
though. That shit doesn't stop burping
I don't burp up stuff
from something. Well, so like that's the thing, is that I realized that something had to have been wrong, because I was driving in my car and I had a moment, and I don't know why it happens when I was in my car, but I had a moment where I was like, I haven't burped after anything I've eaten in like a week.
Right off this bridge into the goddamn river.
Look, that happens too. That happens lots and lots of times. I mean, I got a pretty long drive home. If there's a bridge embankment or some sort of change in elevation, I've considered ripping the fucking wheel off the top of it.
You know what? I don't feel like changing elevation and again. I want to change elevation real quick.
Nah, speed doesn't kill, dude. It's stuff that comes at you while you're going fast that kills you.
If you do enough speed, it'll kill you.
Yeah, do enough of it. So that's a weird realization that I've discovered, is that I removed something as a result of this, or maybe a combination of things, that is caused me great distress on multiple levels over the course of
in this area, in the tummy
forever,
area,
everywhere. Like, oh, like I'd have it. Like, Dylan, it'd be so bad. I would be like, I was up on the internet. This is how bad you'd know when something's going on. I was up on the internet looking for wedge pillows. Let that sink in for a second. A significant number of my Google searches were how do I
were not a sex
heartburn?
thing either, all right?
What?
The wedge pillows were not a sex thing either.
Yeah, I'm online and it brings me to like adamandeve.com, and it's like, no. This isn't it's for my
I need to be elevated so I can shove flaming hot Cheetos in my tummy while I'm in bed.
Like, it was so this I wish this on nobody. I wish it on nobody. This shouldn't become part of your life. Part of your life shouldn't be sitting at work, like, just after getting out of eating fucking cake and ice cream like you're at a 12-year-old's birthday party because
You
it's
just walked
fucking
out of
Timmy's
Friendly's.
birthday at the office. What?
You just walked out of Friendly's.
With my smiley face fucking Sunday. There definitely wasn't a smiley face on my face after I ate the smiley face Sunday. It's a feeling of intense discomfort. But nobody in their life. This is a message to nobody that listens to this, and hopefully someday somebody will. Killer.
Got him. Wait.
So this is.
I got me. Oh no.
It got me. I listened to it for audio testing purposes, so there you go. You got another one.
Oh, I don't. I don't even listen. I caught it.
This is a message for future Brent. If you are coming back and listening to this,
turn that wheel. Just do it now.
Turn the wheel. Just end it. But before you do that, please don't eat as much carbs as you used to, and please don't eat as much fucking tomatoes for Christ's sakes as you used to. Come on, man. You're better than this. Like, pouring grease down your mouth is okay. It just depends on what the grease is. That's the point.
What's wrong with tomatoes?
Acidity, dude.
Oh, all right, acid. That's right. Okay.
That's the fucking problem. Well, the thing is, though, and here's the weirdest part about this, and I still don't know. I still don't understand it. I just know it works. It's the biggest problem with doing something like this is that if you eliminate like 50% of what you eat, you have no fucking clue what it was. My guess is, though.
Let's put it all up on the cork board and we'll start introducing things back in one by one and figure it out.
Giving them the old Pepe Sylvia treatment. Pepe Sylvia. The biggest thing that I've realized is that it wasn't so much that eating acidic foods was the thing that gave me all of this fucking insanity going on in my stomach and my esophagus. It was that eating acidic foods in conjunction with other foods caused the problem. Here's the biggest example. It actually wasn't acidic foods.
What's your function? Eating some tomatoes and shitting out fire.
Exactly. The one that I noticed right off the fucking bat was I would make like a big breakfast on Saturdays, as one would do, right? You got the time, you might as well make yourself a big ass. I know you don't eat breakfast, Dylan, and I don't either anymore. That's part of it too. But anyways, I used to make these big ass breakfasts on fucking Saturdays where I get like a wicked good loaf of bread. I make fucking eggs, bacon, sausage, fucking all this shit. It would be like full American breakfast time.
Yeah,
I would eat that.
Isn't that just what you eat now anyways, though?
I'm getting to it.
Oh, hold up. What you used to do?
What happened was there's one common denominator, or there's one thing in this breakfast that caused me the most harm.
The full loaf of bread that you ate?
It was the fucking bread. It was the 1,800 pieces of toast that you used to dip in your eggs. And all of that shit, everything you do.
That's your fucking problem.
Or it was your breakfast sandwich or something. So here's what happened. I do keto now. I eat fucking eggs and bacon and all this shit in the morning thinking like, oh, the bacon's going to give me wicked heartburn. Nothing happens. But an egg sandwich, eat a fucking egg sandwich, dude, world of hurt. I don't know what it is. I don't understand the issue. But it's eliminated. I haven't had heartburn in a month.
Maybe you actually are glycemic. What is it? Is that the word?
It's
hypoglycemic?
No, hypoglycemic is
where
your blood sugar spikes abnormally after eating sugar. But celiac disease is what causes the gluten thing. But the thing is, though, I don't know if it was something to do with.
Right. Again, this is all conjecture considering you eliminated half the shit you eat. So
I've made all these decisions without consult from anyone, and
you're one of the few
done
Americans
research.
with health insurance. Why bother using it, right?
Dude, this is a great story. This is a great lead-in for this because.
Oh no, it's not. I'm not getting into that.
As we know, I sleep like shit. That's the one thing. Like, I dropped 10 pounds. I still sleep like shit. And I'm like, why am I? I don't know what the fuck is happening. I wake up every day feeling like a garbage pile.
Get some ZQL.
Ooh.
Start chugging that. Get a nice.
Start
get a
chugging
nice,
ZQL, dude.
Get a nice sleep aid addiction.
I do take melatonin, 5-HTP, and tryptophan.
Well, that's just what ZQL is, so.
ZQL also has the active ingredient in NyQuil that is the sleep component, which is a synthesized sleep component, which is
I like synthesizers.
It is a
Looking up sleeping
ZQL. ZQL. I can't think of the name of it. Is it Dextro? No, it's not Dextro. What the fuck is it?
Diphenhydramine?
So that's Benadryl. But it's Benadryl without any of the shit in it. And that's
without the antihistamine.
That stuff is
right?
habit forming. Uh-huh.
Yeah, without antihistamine.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just what Benadryl is, just makes you tired with an antihistamine. This is just without it. But it says it's not habit forming.
Everything's habit forming.
The fucking fine print, the fine print below it, it says uses directed for occasional sleeplessness. Yeah, you know what? Stop trying to cover your ass, ZQL. Used for occasional sleeplessness. They shouldn't have to say that under something that says non-habit forming.
Oh my god. So liquid medicine gags me even when I look at it. Like Robitussin, like it, like just looking at it gags me, and the sound of vanilla cherry liquid medicine is literally giving me chills right now. It's disgusting.
You should be fine with some melatonin gummies, though. That's the message for everybody is eat some fucking melatonin gummies, and I think you'll be right as rain.
I don't have problems.
The same.
I was telling you to drink ZQL. I was telling you to get the fucking addiction.
No, I know you don't get. It never. It never ceases to amaze me that your lifestyle and living conditions are conducive to a perfectly adjusted sleep experience and no gastrointestinal problems. Knowing people that are approaching 30, you sleep on a box spring. What is essentially a box spring with cotton candy pillows, with little cotton ball pillows, and you just fucking, like, when you go to sleep at night, it's like Dante from Clerks. You just bunch up what's around you. It just fucking, you're gone, completely destroyed. In the morning, you're in some other sort of fucking contortionist position. And lather, rinse, repeat. Luna bars and G Fuels, and then just keep on going.
I get my 8 hours to sleep during the week, and then on the weekend I get about 5 hours a day.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but 5 hours destroys my life. Like, it literally creates an imbalance in my reality that's like, what is going on? It's got to be because I didn't sleep.
On the weekend, like, I can't sleep. I get, like, excited that, like, I don't got to go to work, so I can, like, I don't got to worry about fucking getting ready and everything, and it fucking hypes me up. I don't do anything, but it still hypes me up.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I
totally
get it. I have such problems with getting, like, hyped up on anything during the winter. It's like it is so hard to be like, oh wow, I'm really fucking looking outside, and it's like, oh, gray again. God, I'm so excited for today, dude. It's crazy. So the point is, kids,
Seasonal depression sucks.
seasonal
Get
depression
yourself a drug
sucks.
addiction,
Tummies,
preferably over the counter.
melatonins, no carbs.
If you
Take
get
a lot
the
of vitamin D.
if you get the OTC addiction, then you don't got to worry about buying any shady drugs that have fentanyl laced in them, and then you end up dead in the bathroom.
Perfect. So let's get to the actual agenda.
Make like Fallout Boy and take that to your grave.
Oh, Dylan, I have notes. This time I put them in my phone, just like any self-respecting American would.
I got a shiny case.
I'm going to transition from sleep to another thing about sleep because I said this for a reason. I bought, because of my issues with this, the first FDA-approved sleep tracker that you do not wear around your wrist. You don't wear it around your bicep.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Do you put it in your butt?
Ooh. That'd be
Do you
interesting.
get it up there? Do you eat it? Do you swallow it?
So here's what you do.
Is it a chip? Is it behind the ear? Does it go behind the ear? Is it a chip that goes behind the ear? Oh, damn it.
No, it does not. It's even more cyberpunk than that.
Branson Android, you don't have human emotions.
I'll give you a visual of it using this flash drive that I have sitting right next to me. This is how it's, and I'll tell you the name of it. It's called the Beddr, BEDDR.
You know it is.
You know it is. And guess where it got shipped from?
China?
California.
California, dude.
California. The first FDA-approved sleep tracking device. And it goes right there. And it is not a headband. It is not something I put around my head. It's not something that
It's like a
gets
sticker?
suction to my head. You literally take the device. It's no bigger than this, if not smaller. It's probably a little bit smaller than that.
A
A little
basic
bit
thumb
smaller
drive.
width-wise. A little bit smaller than a thumb drive. And on the back of it, it's slightly curved for the shape of your forehead, and it comes with adhesive-backed double-sided strips that are similar to like the Breathe Right strip. It's like you just clean your forehead, dry it off, you put the adhesive on it, and on the back of the device, there's a laser and two other sensors that I can't remember what they are. The laser is an O2 sensor, and it uses the capillaries in your forehead to detect blood oxygenation when you sleep. And so what it does is, and also it's got a gyroscope and an accelerometer in it. So when I tilt to the side, it's going to be able to measure my blood oxygen, and it's going to be able to tell me what position while I'm sleeping is the best one for breathing. So I tested this out last night.
You're going to have to train yourself to get in better positions while sleeping? Is that like the point of I don't understand what the point of a sleep tracker is. How's it help? Like, you don't need a fancy device to stick to your forehead to tell me that you're sleeping shitty. I understand that.
I need a fancy device to stick to my forehead to tell me why.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's what I was asking.
That's what it is. It's like, basically it gives you the data to make the decisions that for you that would hopefully help improve your sleep. But the other thing is too, this isn't in any way a replacement for going to a doctor and being like, can you send me to a sleep study? But in all honesty, since this is the first FDA approved solution for this, I've always been of this inclination that, like, if I want to check something out about myself, there's got to be a way I can do it with technology. There has to be. We're in a fucking era of like biohackers and fucking freakazoids doing shit.
Sensor up the butt.
Yeah, a digital suppository that'll go in your ass and tell you what's going on.
Disintegrates. Nanobots go crawling through your bloodstream.
Dude, if I could have figured that out for the whole carb thing, if somebody could have told me, like, shove this in your ass and I'll let you know what foods are bothering you, that thing would have been in my ass faster than I could have. Like, Boom.
I would accidentally slip the whole fist in trying to get it up there
Dude,
quickly.
Forget. Yeah, dude. I don't even. No. I don't need lube. Just give it to me. Okay, come on, nanobot. Yeah, give it the old Rochambeau. I'll get it right in there. So I want to give you a little data breakdown because I tried it for the first time last night, and for the people. Oh yeah, dude, I finally got it in there.
You got a coupon code? Give the listeners.
Ooh, if you want to save, I don't even want to tell you how much it cost. Really don't.
Over 100.
I can tell you that an average sleep study costs about $1,000, and I can tell you that this is in the 10th of magnitude less than that. So, yeah, you can give you an idea. It's only $150, which for a sleep tracker, if you're considering like a Fitbit or something like that, some Fitbits are fucking $200.
Yeah,
like the Fitbit Versa, which does a lot of this. Well, it's not even that it's uncomfortable. It's just that the Fitbit can't do blood oxygen. There's only a few things available that do that. So this also does. So what this thing does is it gives you obviously sleep duration. That's easy, but sleep duration, stopped breathing events per hour, which is how you measure sleep apnea. So how many times did I die last night? Gives you a great figure on that.
Oh, Dylan, you were dead from 2 to 3:30.
This app tells me that you shouldn't be alive, and it's giving me some sort of link to call an ambulance. It's interesting.
Yeah. See, 911. Those are phone numbers are only 3 digits. They're at least 10.
I had average hourly stopped breathing events of 19.7 per hour.
So
which is which as you can see here is red. They put the numbers in red, which is not good.
So you have sleep apnea. You're
gonna need a fucking CPAP machine.
It's gonna go along with that dad shirt, your fucking sleep apnea mask.
Can't wait, dude. Dude, I got the dad shirt, and then I'm gonna be wearing the fucking New Balances. And when I come home, I'm gonna put on that CPAP.
Look, Becky,
I might as well call it C-Dad. Look, I'm Darth Vader. Dude, I'm going to be the most well-rested not dad that's also a dad on the face of the fucking planet if I can figure it out. So, the reason why I said the sleep on the side thing is because it gives you what they call insights, Dylan. And it says, I go from 19 stop breathing events to an hour down to 6 if I'm on my side. Sleeping on my side.
Okay.
It's a 2.3% increase in blood oxygen levels when sleeping. Normally I sleep on my stomach, which is also bad for your neck. That's another thing, is that for some people, especially if you're tubby, you do not want to sleep on your stomach no matter how great that feels, because there's a lot of people that do it.
Speak for yourself.
Tubby, sleep on stomach, wake up with a neck ache, wake up with fucking not breathing. It's all common sense now. Good morning. I'm like a fucking fish that just flopped out of the fucking ocean in the morning.
Okay, I need my machine.
Water.
I need my machine.
Give me my CPAP machine. Oh, god damn it, that's better. Now I can really start my day because I'm
Becky,
breathing in.
You want to hit
fucking?
This?
Oh yeah, dude. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me on the couch with my New Balances on, with like a fucking terry cloth robe, putting on the CPAP one time, and then getting a vape, putting it in the vape, putting in the CPAP, putting in the vape, drinking spiked seltzers.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Ooh, draws like a pencil. Give me that CPAP. It's just fucking chugging along on the coffee table.
This is for my glaucoma, and this is because I have sleep problems.
Dude, I want to be the most biohacked person on the face of the planet. I want to be taking nootropics, like all that shit.
You want to be Joe Rogan, is what you're telling me.
I want to. Oh, Dylan, there is nothing more in my life. If I could figure out how to be Joe Rogan, talking about like how orangutans can like rip your dick off and throw it off in the tall grass and everybody seeing it again. and space and shit. Oh,
You know.
that's what I want. Like, I want to be like a combination between Joe Rogan and fucking Tom DeLonge. Anyway, that's the better. I just wanted to let you know, give you a little bit of an insight on what's happening in my world. So, you play any good games lately? Eh. I think what we should do, Dylan, instead, is I think that we should talk about just some stuff that
I
were.
have played good games. I beat Kingdom Hearts Chain
What?
of Memories. I beat Chain of Memories. I did it.
Ooh.
I did it, dude.
As the cards dictate.
And they dictated because it's a card game.
So you beat the kid. So what are you moving on to now?
2.
So okay, so this is that's right. This is in between the.
Yeah. Well, currently I'm watching the movie that's on the disc for $358 over 2 days.
Okay. The movie
like,
that's on the disc.
Well, it's like basically the cutscenes from the game.
Right.
The game, because it's important to the story. It's a lot of Organization 13 stuff, which is pretty much what that whole game is. So like when you get, it's like a side book that feeds into the main story, but it has a lot of information you need for the main story to make sense. So you got to read it.
Look, Kingdom Hearts, man, you need information. It's got to happen, or else you're not going to get it.
So I'm watching that right now, and then I'm gonna hop on to 2.
Nice. You're chugging along, dude. You're making it. You're going to be very intimately acquainted with the story that most people find to be completely nonsensical and non-understandable.
That's just because that's the joke. If you literally just play the games, you're just like, okay. Maybe some of the time travel stuff later on is what gets confusing, but that's anything with like time travel in it. Everything else is, dude, friendship is cool. That's the story.
Friendship is cool. Good.
Don't break promises. Don't make promises you can't keep, and don't break promises to your friends.
And also,
I'm getting sick and tired of your broken promises.
Face my fears, erase my scars, whatever it is. Yeah. I feel as though I should tell you that the second that I opened my PlayStation Classic, when I had a moment to actually fiddle around with it, I barely had it plugged into the TV before I then had it plugged into my computer and hacking it. So, successfully hacked the PS Classic. Got to get a different flash drive for it because it's a flash drive boot hack, which is fine. You can just use a USB hub. Mm-hmm. But
well, it's got 2 slots on it.
Yeah, I mean, just for me. But if it was ever 2 players or whatever, you just have to put a hub in it. But got Bleem Sync on it and didn't realize, and I haven't actually figured out how to do this part yet. And I don't think it's very hard because it does it as pretty much as an auto install. But when you do the current version of what the normal hack for this is, it puts RetroArch on it too. So what ends up happening is you can utilize the same chip that powers this to run a multiple cores in RetroArch to play anything from NES up till N64 probably, depending on the hardware encoding. It's a little iffy on some games, but that's what I was able to.
Saturn is a little touch and go, I think.
Yeah,
with that stuff.
But as far as the games that most people would want to play, they've been worked out to the point where if you have a large, what the hell is it? Fucking that computer bitch out there is talking in my living room.
Yo, I tried to get mine to play Do You Want to Build a Snowman? She was not having it. She was just playing any version but the main one.
I for one, am happy about our robot overlords. Eventually what it'll be is, my hope is that if I put that thing on my head, what it'll do is it'll send like a neural transmitter to my brain that will automatically shut it off and make me go to sleep. And it'll just keep me asleep the entire night.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, it just zaps me fucking awake again, and then pumps like a bunch of serotonin in there.
Up your ass, right? And then they go into your lungs. I guess you can smoke the nanobots too. You smoke the nanobots.
Dude.
They go into your lungs, and then when you're sleeping, they just pump. They pump your lungs.
Dude,
so
that'd be perfect.
It doesn't matter where you are.
And they get up in my face, and they like stop it so that like in the morning I don't like go to the bathroom and like blow my nose and about 10 pounds of shit comes out of my nose. That'd be nice too. When in the morning it's not like because I can't breathe out my nose. That'd be great. Anyways. I was saying that I hacked the fuck out of my PlayStation.
I have a question. So does it run the regular games good?
I actually tested because I forgot how to turn on the damn frames per second thingy. I know it's somewhere in there. I got to figure out how to turn it on. But from just regular going at it, they do run great. And what you can do as well.
There was absolutely no reason for them to put the PAL versions of these games on it.
No, and in fact,
good to hear.
There are people that aren't even hacking it that have realized that there's, and I can't remember how to do it, but there's an exploit that you can do.
You could plug certain keyboards into it and hit the escape button on startup, and it goes into the settings.
When you go into the settings, you can force 60 frames per second, and it'll switch back to the NTSC modes on most of those games.
I don't think it's 60.
Or something to that effect.
It's like 24. I think that's what NTSC is, like 24 frames a second.
Or, well, no.
Or whatever it is. No, it's 60 hertz. Or
40 that's
hertz,
what I'm saying.
Hertz. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It'll force 60 hertz. Like, the guy tested, I watched a video where the guy tested in Final Fantasy, and it runs a fuck ton more smoother when he just goes into that menu and runs 60, force it, and then it looks great.
Well, yeah.
There's no reason not to do it.
Because the fucking...
it's stupid. I don't understand it. And when I was running like NTSC version of like Crash Bandicoot, fucking spotless. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no frame skipping. I mean, other than probably the normal frame skipping that happened in the original fucking PS1. There's a lot of that sometimes, but
you could tell
it feels
it's the game
identical.
And not the hardware.
Yes. Oh, 100%. There's no slowdown. There's that because when you emulate something and you see slowdown, it's very evident what it is. But it works fucking fine. And it's a shit ass flash drive in there too. There's nothing special. If I put, because they have a list of supported flash drives online, it's in like a big Google Doc. Mm-hmm. If you get like one of your flash drives, like the Samsung Fits, you pop that shit in there. It doesn't even look like anything's in it.
Yeah.
You got 128 gigs worth of storage. You could put the whole fucking catalog on it, and it runs beautifully. There's no, and then the fucking 8-Bit Dough came out with the one that you can use in this to plug any controller into it. So now you have a fully configured and mapped out DualShock controller that works inside of BleemSync, which is the PlayStation Classic side of it, and then also in RetroArch fully supported. It becomes a completely different device.
All for $40 now, because that's how much they are.
Dude, that's when I saw it online, and it was like you can order it at Walmart for pickup. I was like, $40? Fuck, I gotta order it now. I ordered that shit for pickup, picked it up at Walmart, brought it home, put a shit ass flash drive in it just to try it out. It's fucking flawless. It works and looks great. And I would it's something I would recommend if you could find it for the 40. Anybody should buy it for 40.
Yeah, they're pumping. I'm pretty sure it's 40 on Amazon right now. So,
anybody should get this if they're interested in doing shit like this. And it was fun to do it. Like, it wasn't. It's extremely hard. You're not doing any hardware to it. It's a complete soft mod. There's nothing different about it. But it's really cool. So Of course, Symphony of the Night's going on it. Of course, all the rest of the Resident Evils are going on it. All that shit. And it's just in a really great package. I mean, obviously you can hack all the other stuff, Nintendo NES, whatever you want to hack, but this seems to just be the most complete solution for this type of thing. But
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
What else? So DMC5, as we were saying off the air, it really does look fantastic. It's got that special something, Dylan. It's got that shininess.
Well,
Jesus
that's
Christ,
the RE engine, dude. The
Oh,
RE engine magic.
so shiny and cheesy and smooth and sexy. I'm telling you, I was thinking about getting that fucking cheating Capcom out of that money and getting them.
Gray market. Go to the gray market, dude.
Get them on the gray market. Get it for $40. And also, then if I have it on PC, I mean, I ain't got the best graphics card in here, but at the very least, if I can run it at 14.4, I mean, I'd even run it just a little lower, and then just so I could get it at lock 60, so that it's like real smooth, because that's what Devil May Cry is all about. It's got to be at that. It's got to be that.
I gotta get it at that locked 144.
Oh, a 1.4. Oh, damn. Well, I got the G-Sync. I got a G-Sync on here, so it's gonna be like right in my face.
Yo, so I'm playing Anthem, right?
It sounds like a stand-up. So I'm playing Anthem, right? Can you believe this guy?
This comes on after my Cracker Barrel 5 minutes about my Cracker Barrel kick set. But so I'm playing Anthem, right? And I'm playing it, and I'm like, man, this feels slow.
I think haven't a lot of people been saying this?
You know when something just feels slow?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And I click on the settings. I look in the settings. For some reason, it defaulted to like my monitor screen, but at 30 hertz.
Whoa.
So
that doesn't happen on normal monitors.
I know. So I'm like, oh, okay. I go down, go to my monitor screen, go to 144 hertz, butter.
Yeah.
Like, okay, great. Yeah. Why did it default to this?
It might have got so weird. Might have gotten fucked up on your graphics card settings or something.
Yeah, it could have been something like that. That's the least of its problems, but it's not that bad.
I also don't know, like, sometimes when I'm looking at shit on here, like, this is a G-Sync monitor. It's the Dell, the classic Dell. It's like one of the best 27-inch gaming monitors out there for the price that it is. You can go out there and get the Predator fucking monitors for like $800, but this is like a $300 or $400 monitor. It's like half the price. It's
Wait, is that what you have, or are you looking at
yeah,
it
that's
right
what
now?
I have.
Oh.
No. I bought it from somebody.
Oh, when did you get a monitor with G-Sync?
I bought it around Black Friday, I remember, because I was looking at monitors online and I found on Slick Deals that the Dell, it's not the Ultra Sharp, but it's.
I thought you had like a 2K like crap monitor.
No, the monitor I had before was the one that my friend gave me, which was only a 60 hertz monitor at 2K. That was a knockoff. It had an Apple panel in it. It has the Apple A- panel. There's like a Chinese one. It's like that big bulky motherfucker, the white one that I used to have.
I don't even remember that one.
You don't remember that one?
No.
That was the 2K one.
I thought the one you had now was the 2K one.
It is.
Oh.
This monitor I have is a 1440p G-Sync gaming monitor from Dell. And it's one of their Infinity Edge displays. It's got the really short bezel on all the sides except for the chin. It looks like they're the 15-inch laptops they make.
Take it on the chin.
The Crimson Chin. But yeah, this one now goes to, I'm playing everything on 144 in G-Sync 2K, and it looks really good. It's the best monitor I've ever owned. There's like, and it's I did like a color calibration on it. It's fucking 99% sRGB. It's so for great. It's fucking Dell monitors are great for graphic design because they're made. That's the first thing they do. And then if you get one of their gaming monitors, that's like the more basic model.
Mm-hmm.
It's great for graphic design and it's great for gaming too. It looks fucking unbelievable. And the thing is that when you look at it in profile, my old monitor looked bigger, but the panel was the same size. This one, since it's removed all the bezel, it's like 27 inches in a 22-inch package, kind of.
Nice.
It looks so small, but you're literally only looking at screen. The whole thing is just screen.
Mine's mostly screen too.
Yeah, it
Like
looks. It always makes
bezel
things
on
look
mine.
smaller than they are, like the physical body of the thing. That other fucking monitor I got in there, it looks like a fucking behemoth. It looks like a 36-inch TV, like that I got in my closet. And also I have a 27-inch 1080 in there too.
Anyone want to buy
That's the
some
only.
monitors?
It's fucking A. I need some, but well, the other thing was I had this idea. I don't think I ever talked to you about this. There's have you seen that it's not if it's not I can't say the name of the song. It's Not Living If It's Not With You by the 1975.
The music video?
Yeah.
Is that one where he's walking down the street?
No, that's Sincerity's Scary. Second question, follow-up question. Have you ever seen the Talking Heads concert documentary Stop Making Sense?
No, I like the Talking Heads though. I like those big jackets.
Do
they talk about the big jackets?
No, perform in the big jackets.
They perform in the big jackets? They got big jackets?
Stop Making Sense. Stop Making Sense is the song remains the same of
the Talking Heads,
the 1980s. No, it's quintessential.
I think the song remained the same came out in 1980 though.
I thought it came out in the 70s.
No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's like one of the last things.
Did it have most of Led Zeppelin 70s songs in it though? I'll tell you, like, Stop Making Sense. It's so weird that you've never seen it. It was in 84.
What?
Stop Making Sense was 84, and song remains the same.
Oh yeah, I seen this. He is walking down the street in this one.
And part of it, because it references the other video.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I say, have you seen Stop Making Sense, is because the concept of this video mimics that concert very closely. It was Song Remains the Same was released in 76. And there was a 07 reissue of it.
Oh, fuck me then.
Okay, so hang on.
So fuck me.
Let's backpedal a little bit.
Yep. Fuck me.
Nobody's fucking anybody.
Fuck me. Listen.
Everybody just calm down.
Everyone calm down. No one's fucking
Nobody's
anybody.
getting fucked.
The only one that's getting fucked is going to be me if someone finds a nanobot pill that I could shove up my butt.
So there's a certain visual aesthetic that I really enjoy about Stop Making Sense, and then by extension, the 1975 being referential to that era. So on the video for It's Not Living If It's Not With You, there's two CRT TVs on stage that are kind of doing a Max Headroom type of thing, that have like different footage, and it's kind of glitchy and it's sort of interesting, and they're kind of like 4:3 format. And at my job, we get rid of monitors all the time, like shitloads of fucking monitors. And like my boss was like, dude, go in there, go into the fucking into the IT room and just take any monitors you want. Just to fucking take them home. I'm not going to sell them. I don't want anything to fucking do with those monitors. Just take whichever ones you want. Now, my first inclination was, okay, I already have fucking two junk ass monitors at home that I don't want. Why the hell would I want any two monitors? But
then
I went in there and I saw two Dell 4:3 flat panels the really old gray chunky computer lab looking motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
They're like 19-inch the square
Yep.
ones. I was like, I'm gonna pick up 2 of those. They're both VESA mountable, and I'm gonna try to create a stage setup out of them. I'm gonna start trying to do like some graphics experimenting with them. So what I thought was, what I'll do is I'll get 2 cheap. That could be it too. So I took them, and I took the stands with me too, because I don't know, the stands are pretty good. They're like the ones that can go sort of up and down, and you can twist them and shit. But the screens themselves, I'd like to put on arms that then would be able to extend to the front and be on, 2 sides of what we're talking about, and then have some, loops going, some like interesting shit. Or the other thing I was thinking of was putting a frosted facade on the front of them, cutting out a filter that would go on the front of the panels, and then I would use like monochromatic video feeds on it, so it would be like, it would only be black figures over white backgrounds. So I would just mask everything off, and then with that sort of tinted filter on the front of it, it would be like a really interesting way to display visuals. So that was my first inclination with it. But that was more like,
instead the monitors are probably just gonna sit there, but I like
that's what I'm
idea.
saying. They're just gonna sit there. It's a cool. Well, so the other thing was like, all right, if I really wanted to try to create something, and this will probably be closer to the summer, because what I might do is, I don't know what it's going to be like here in the summer, but what I'd like to do is set up more shit in my garage, because I have space in there. So what I'd like to do is set up like a temporary summer type of thing in my garage where I can sort of experiment with stuff. It's not like, really somewhere where I can make more of a mess. I could be down there with like mechanical shit and arms and electronics, and like a night, like a table, just a shit table, and just get these going and try to see if I can get something cohesive out of it. And also maybe down there rehearse some DJ stuff while I'm doing visuals, like to try to get things to like sync up. Maybe even really try to just get into like VDJing and shit. Yeah. Also really like start to try to understand how you can, or how one can how one can have like a standard MIDI controller, like whether or not I use, my launch pad or whatever the hell it is, mapped out to do something that, and here's the problem, is that it's a resources problem. It's a system resources thing. I've already run into this.
Computers. Definitely, yeah. I think.
Well, so what I had thought was that right now,
buy yourself a full Pioneer CDJ setup. That way,
I mean,
you don't need the computer.
I can come close with doing like a fully integrated controller or something that would accept USB, but it's not like all these. It's not $50 billion. There's ones out there.
Yeah,
Denon makes like a fully integrated USB controller, and that doesn't require a computer. It's got the screens. It's like the one. It's got that. Layback Luke has that one that's got the flip screen in the top of it, but it's one solid block of controller.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to go, but the other thought that I had in my mind was, if the only problem is if I could fucking just pay off my Mac, that's the only problem, is just I need this fucking thing paid off. And then what I might do is get like a Razer Blade Pro to run visuals with like a discrete graphics card in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say something with a good graphics card. Yeah, you get fucking. They got the 2070 mobiles in them, I think.
The Max Q. They're doing the Max Q laptops now, and like they're expensive. But if it was really something that I wanted to start getting into, which was the visual effects portion of this whole seminar, like learning how to.
Now, Brent, here's a suggestion: start on the computer you have with the graphics card in it.
Yeah.
And then once you do that and you get stuff going, then
scale it.
Then scale it, especially. Because what the fuck are you gonna need a laptop for if you're just going down to your your garage. You're not taking this installation anywhere. You're not setting up the cube. Dead mouse, calm down.
That's what I'm saying is that for me, what this would more be is just something for me to maybe a different field of expression, like
Yeah.
because I've worked in projection. I really enjoy what I really would like to do is try to create, if I could, artistically speaking, a synthesis of projection and screens, but make things sort of lo-fi or like layer things, create layers of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Would be what I'd really like to do. Is like I could even imagine a scenario in where like I have the two screens themselves going, and then there's mapped projection that's with other elements. So it's like, you know, because I got into projection mapping for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I remember.
And I want to get back into it. Because projection mapping was so much fun.
The way you just worded that reminded me of like the Jim Morrison part in Breaking a Sweat, which is like I could imagine like a just sitting around with
I could imagine a world in where machines are making sounds and you don't even need to have a live band.
You know, it's a series of machines.
I could imagine a world in where I could just project stuff on screens and the screens would project back at me and there's lasers and
yeah, see, that'd be a tough thing, like a projection map onto the screen, but not making it too muddy. Having like the screen, you know what I mean? Using projection mapping as a layer over the screen.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is that projection is implicated. Like, you gotta. That's the funny thing about projection is that to really make high quality projection, depending on what direction it's coming from, because obviously there's rear and there's front and there's all these different ways of doing the task. But what you really fundamentally have to understand at the core of it, which is harder than some things to understand, is that it's light. It's light in the absence of light.
Yeah.
So if you're there and you're like, okay, let me take my big monitors that produce, what is it? Light. Yes, that's right. And then try to come up with some way that I can marry the two of these concepts and say, okay,
marry light onto light.
If
I now pronounce you light and light.
I'm going to write that down. We can marry it not light by light. Like, I think that would be a fun thing to experiment with if I had the space. The other problem is that, like, from a projection standpoint, it's all about distance and material.
That's real hard to do.
That's the problem. Is that, well, here's the solution to the problem, though.
LED
in the garage,
panels.
LED panels. $6,000 could have you with your very own 2 panels.
It had more than Tritonal had last night.
Ooh.
They didn't have any LED panels.
Ain't that a bitch? If you're really thinking about it, is that I have collected and I mean, it's not like I have like the ultimate in projectors and shit. Like I've played around with some really expensive projectors. I haven't really owned any. I have one super shit projector. But I've played around with full 1080p DLP projectors. But, you know, ones from the past that are very large, that do like big screens. Mm-hmm. And I've experimented with the Pico projectors in my job. Like I've used a lot of different ones. But the biggest consideration of the whole thing is, like, where the fuck do I put this thing? How do I make it so that if well, that's not even it either. It's not necessarily where you put it. It's how do I get the most out of where I put it? Because we went and saw a punk show the other day and an art gallery thing the skateboard show. I don't know if you saw that on anybody's Instagram or whatever.
I
went to the skateboard show.
Was popping. I saw some grams.
It was pretty cool. I had a great time. It was actually a really, really interesting show. But the funniest part to me was that in the true spirit of punk music, first of all, is why this happened. But the first band that was playing, they had a projector. I didn't see it. I didn't know where it was because it didn't really come on until like the first couple songs came in.
Okay.
And that motherfucker was skewed to the max and like halfway on the ceiling. And they were trying to dial it the fuck in. I was like, I've never related to a more live performance than I have right now. I know exactly what they're dealing with. But the drummer had a screen behind him, but the screen wasn't raised. It was just his backdrop. So what you had was I don't know if you've ever seen God is an Astronaut play live.
Yeah.
Or any band like that, any of those shoegaze bands.
Yeah, they just project onto themselves.
They just project onto themselves, and then there's one in the background. Now, look, sometimes it's cool. Just depends on what visuals you use. They just happen to be using, of course, old 1970s like smut, basically. It was just like weird, like 1970s,
Burlesque.
like titty videos, burlesque, yeah, shit like that. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a punk band. They're gonna do stuff like that. But you lose all production value when half a titty is on the fucking window and on the ceiling and on the drummer's face. It's like, what do you do, guys? Just put up like something that's like abstract.
He's
Get
the
some
drummer.
of that.
That's the only titty he's getting on his face.
Drummer joke.
Play that asshole.
So that whole time I was like, not only are there so many bands out there that are playing locally that within a local spectrum are marginally talented, they're just doing it. They just thought maybe we should put a projector in. Maybe that'd be nice.
See, that's also your problem. It's got to be too perfect for you, and so you just don't bother.
I'm telling you, there is nothing more apt about the way that I approach media in my life, the creation of any type of media, than a perfectionist who can't get the fuck out of his own way.
Look at that
9 times out of 10.
Half-finished skateboard behind you.
Dude, it's right there. There's supposed to be something right in the middle of it that I was going to print out on vinyl graphic, but I couldn't find the right fucking distributor to do it. But then, lo and behold, my mom buys a fucking Cricut like 2 weeks later. Thanks, Mom. You know what a Cricut is?
I'm guessing it's a vinyl printer of some sort. Context clues. I figured that one out.
Exactly.
Sherlock.
But my point is, I live.
Nope. Okay.
You don't want mashed potatoes and corn from the dollar store, Dylan?
No, I do want mashed potatoes and corn.
Okay, baby. You can have them.
I'm going
the thing is, Dill, is that I have too many things that I want to do. There's so much happening in my mind at any one time that I'm constantly thinking about and wanting to accomplish. But what happens is, if I sit down and I try to perform or whatever it is, perform, create, manifest, that's probably the best word for it, what's in my head, and it doesn't happen within what I would consider a reasonable amount of time, that fucking thing goes out the window immediately.
How you doing, Brent? My name's Dillon. This is our TED Talk. That's how the joke goes, right?
It's always been this way. So what do I have to work on? I think what I have to work on is, what is the focus? And if I don't have one, then I need to be able to budget my time. That's the biggest portion of it. If I don't have a focus, then I need to have a plan.
There you go. Because
if I don't, so I pick one. Either I have a focus and that's the only thing I do so that I don't have to like create some sort of fucking schedule for my whatever creative expression. I mean, that already is a weird phrase to say, a schedule for creative expression. But you either do that and say, on Tuesday night, it's going to be me spinning for an hour. Doesn't care what comes out. I don't care what comes out. Just record it.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, it's me playing around on my machine for 2 hours. It doesn't matter what comes out. Just save it. On Thursday nights,
I'm gonna
it's
teach myself some music theory so that when I smash on my machine,
it makes sense and it sounds good. The thing is, though, what I've realized pretty readily about myself is that as it pertains to music theory and wanting to learn that, it's probably the last thing that I give a fuck about. And it should be the first thing.
It's so interesting.
It is so interesting. It's one of those things that for me to learn would be fucking invaluable. The only problem is that in my mind, it doesn't get me any closer to, it's just another step. It's just another thing that holds you back from just doing something.
Yeah, but it's I guess to learn
that's
it.
It's not. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But when you
it
learn
doesn't.
It ends up being the overarching thing for everything that you want to do.
I totally get it.
It literally is. It's the why. The why mixing this song with this song works. Why playing this chord after this chord works. Why 100%. Hitting this note on my guitar after this note works. How I can make this guitar solo sound good in conjunction with this 4-chord structure song that I have written. It's everything that you want to do. It's the basis for, but you don't want to learn the top level. You'd rather just pick up the guitar and strum away. That kind of sounded condescending. I wasn't trying to be condescending. I had the tinge.
No, it's totally 100% correct, and that's the key of this is that the wrongness of me really comes from a lifetime of stubbornness. It comes from learning everything by ear and thinking that I understand it fully. I don't, but in a way,
you could just paint by numbers. You can't actually paint.
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest. That's the best way to put it. Is that if I sat down with someone who had a concept of music theory or was very good at it, I could sit down with them and I could instruct them on where it was that I needed to be headed in this arrangement or this composition or this song or whatever it is. I could tell them, I want this part to sound like this. And I can mouth it. I could play it rudimentarily. I can, drum something out relatively quickly. I have a sense of rhythm. I have a sense of key, tonality. All of those things, though, happen in my ears, in my head. But none of it happens from a conversion.
The irony I'm not being, if you sat down with that same person and you both had an instrument, he's like, "All right, let's jam out something in D minor." You'd just be like, "Nope,
not going to happen for me."
You start and now I'll fiddle and maybe figure it out.
That's how I'll figure it out. If you start in D minor, maybe that'll teach me what D minor is by me going around in here and being like, okay, that's in that key, right? Mm-hmm. And then like this chord sounds like it works with that. And then like I can bend this note up to create a harmony and like inside that pocket. That's how my brain works. And the problem is that it's never gotten me far enough to feel as though I can comprehend making something, a full anything. Like I sort of put together this remix thing, this sample based thing that we were going to try to do, but ultimately it comes out just the same as anything else I do. I can't make it long enough because I don't understand enough about the ebb and flow of song structure, key arrangement to actually make something that's 4 minutes long. It actually means something, has layers, has depth, has complexity, or whatever it is. I can write riffs all day. That explains it really, is that the guy that can write riffs and rhythms, the guy that can write loops all day, make real cool loops, is the same guy that doesn't understand notes. He doesn't understand key structure.
It's a good way to
Any
announce
of
that
that
we're
stuff.
starting a music podcast.
Hey, it was always bound to go there. This is the catch-all for anything we do. So if we are doing the podcast that we were talking about, that we do have to talk about, then that's going to play into it somewhat, I would bet. It's going to be the guy who doesn't understand anything explaining everything.
Yeah. The motto.
It's going to be, how does it feel? It's more about how does it make me feel versus why does it make me feel that way? Sometimes, or maybe I have enough of a rudimentary knowledge enough to know why it also makes me feel that way. Because I can wax poetic on about anything, but none of it really comes from an intimate knowledge of it. Not like the Kirk Hamiltons of the world. So that's the problem. And hopefully I can solve it. If I can give myself if I can give myself the motivation to sit down and say, you know what, before I try to create something musical, I should probably know.
Or write a musical?
Write a musical? Write a rock opera like Devin Townsend and it all sounds like that? Just write a big ass metal orchestra opera thing. Dude, I can't even get enough layers on a track to make it even sound like two keyboards going at the same time. How am I going to write for an orchestra?
All I go do is got to copy paste, and I can't do that.
Well, look, I figured out that in my song that what I should probably do is put a sub bass below what I was doing on a drop, because that gives you the sexiness of a drop. Is a sub bass and maybe even a bass layer ahead of that. One that's even more grimy. So I learned a little bit. I learned a little bit about what it is that I should be doing, but it's not enough. You know what a
sub bass is?
I know what a sub bass is, absolutely.
Sub bass, Brent?
A sub bass is like that thing that makes it go. It makes the drop sound good, Dylan. That's all I can tell you. It makes a drop sound good. And then, like, as far as automation is concerned, I know how to fade stuff out. That's about all I know. So, am I going to create a janked up fucking song that has a lot of weird, like, cutoffs and shit where it's like stuff just stops in the middle and shit? Yeah, probably. Until I know how to do all that. So that's even worse, is because there's a fucking technical component to it also. It's not just like I can learn if I could go to a class at the fucking Y on how to do music theory, go over there to the old continuing education building and sit there with a 40-year-old classical violinist for him to teach me how songs work. But then I got to come back to Ableton and wonder what the fuck, how to work an envelope filter. Then it's even worse. Dude, because now I've gone over the musical technical hurdle.
It's the same thing as an amplification envelope. Tag, decay, sustain, release.
Yeah. So then here's what's got to happen for Brent.
The filter instead of the.
I have to go learn what desuspended 7 is, and then I got to come back and learn what
D with the
decay, sustain, release, and attack is.
It's a D chord with the little 7 guy. Get the little 7 guy in there. A 7th up from the D.
What it's made me realize is that
I hate myself.
Yes. If it's a question of when should I have started doing this, the answer is 15, the same time that I started graphic design. I am where I am now with the knowledge that I have in something I'm confident in, because I started when I was, and I'll even say it's probably 13. So if I had started there, I would have had by now an intimate knowledge of. It's just time makes a fool of us all is really what it boils down to. That's what it's all about.
This has been the Jacket Off Podcast.
Look, I'm good with that. I should have tell him Steve Dave did right there. I make fools of us all, everybody. If you want the audio version of this podcast to hear people talk about stuff they don't know about, as always, you can click the link in the description and subscribe to us or not. It's totally up to you. This has been the Jack It Off Podcast. I'm out.